celebrating the life of Ann Hetram. I'm heartbroken. My wife, life partner, and business partner, Ann Hetram, passed away unexpectedly on Sunday, March 30th. We'll have a celebration of life in Ann's honor to share stories on Thursday, April 17th at 3 p.m., followed by reception until 8. Details at the end of this talk. I'd like to share today our life together and what she means to me, her unique qualities, and some of the excessively generous acts she does. I call them Ann's acts of kindness. Ann was truly my life partner in every way. She means much more to me than just being my wife. She was my best friend. We shared most of our friends. We were key parts of both of our families, and we did many things together. But she was also my business partner. For many years, we shared an office and did client meetings together, so she was with me all the time, 24/7. Our office started in our home and then moved across the street, so she was always close. I met Ann taking the Dale Carnegie course. The sales guy said it would change my life. It changed it completely. I was smitten with Ann from the first day. She was doing an example of a memory technique where she was called a Swami. She memorized 30 items named by class members in order. She was asked to identify them in a random order, like which one is number 17. When all were named but one, she was asked which one's left. She's 100% right. I was in awe. She looked awesome in power skirt suits and became Dale Carnegie's top instructor in Ontario. She was amazing at reading people and knows what she wants. For example, I was surprised when she asked me about getting married after dating only 4 months. Everything she did was done in her own unique way. We were married in our home, which we bought together. It was a house party for 45 people, and it was just fun. My dad was the minister. My mother was the best man. Her dad was the maid of honor. We saw fireworks on my wedding night because my brother and cousin did a show in the evening. Nothing was traditional, but it was perfect for us. She made quick decisions with good insights. When we got married, I was an accountant working with a multinational company with a pension. A year later, I announced I wanted to quit my job and become a financial planner, which meant commission-only pay and no pension. Her quick answer was that she's okay with it as soon as the mortgage is paid off. She figured I would fail, but she could pay all her, our lifestyle expenses with her pay. I started our practice while still working full-time. We paid off our mortgage in only 3 years, and then I quit my job and went full-time. So now we had decent management incomes, but Ann played a big part in us paying off our mortgage so quickly. She was always frugal, didn't spend much, and knew how to save money. She searched through flyers, hunting for sales. Her rules for groceries were buy on sale and always buy 6. Why 6? For Ann, 6 is the right number. I could never have built our financial planning practice without her, or even started it. When we met, Ann already had a financial advisor, a growth portfolio, and an investment loan. These are ideas we use in our practice. I learned about it by sitting in on her financial planning meetings with her advisor and found it all fascinating. She started my passion for financial planning. Ann constantly received promotions in all her jobs. She started as a temporary help receptionist and was promoted a few times within a couple of years to become warehouse manager, master schedule, and materials manager for LePage's. That's the glue company that made the white glue you ate as a kid. After 3 years, I needed an assistant, but she had a good management job and would have to give up a nice salary. Nevertheless, she gave it all up and joined me in my practice. Now, Ann has been the perfect business partner. She did everything I was not good at or anything I didn't like, and she was good at everything. She started by completely organizing all our admin. She was a master organizer. She created double checks in the processes, so I don't think she ever made a mistake. She joined my financial planning meetings, and everyone seeing us work together said we were an awesome team. So I was a knowledgeable financial planner, and she connected with everyone on a personal level. I would often explain things in perfectly good English, and she watched the clients and could tell if they didn't understand. Then she would ask, "You didn't understand that, did you?" She then explained it in simpler yet effective words so the clients understood the concept. For years, Ann was the first to talk with people interested in becoming new clients. She could read who was sincere and connect with them. She could see if they were not a fit for us, and she effectively screened them out without offending them. I often heard her say, "Perhaps we are not the right advisor for you." So she was tough when she needed to be. Whoever got past Ann was almost always a great client. When we hired employees together, or we'd hire them together, when I look back now, the ones that stayed for years and became an indispensable part of our practice are all people that she selected. We both love cruises. I took a cruise and a trip to Winnipeg every year to spend time with my family and childhood friends. I soon realized that my friends, even my childhood friends, liked Ann more than me. Ann was an awesome cake decorator, but she only would do it for close family or friends, and always for free. We have beautiful samples at our home displayed in a china cabinet. She joined the Canadian Society of Sugar Artists and is a director. Club members did some amazing things that even non-decorators like me could appreciate. They won Best Booth in the Canada Blooms Flower Show with only icing sugar flowers. They created a 4-foot blown sugar replica of the Juno statue for the show. When Will and Kate married and announced their wedding cake, they created an exact replica over 3 days at the home show. So many members of the club became Ann's good friends. Ann loved crafts and did courses in more than 100 crafts. The way to get under her skin was to name a craft she has not done. Someone told her they had done a class in caning for making Adirondack chairs. It had bugged her that she hadn't done it. So after a search, she took a course in caning. So our home is full of craft supplies. Ann loved flowers and could name almost any flower she saw. On one of our vacations, she took over 100 pictures. When I looked at them, one was of the resort pool, and all the rest were close-ups of flowers. She designed a beautiful backyard for us with separate raised beds for flowers, herbs, and peppers, and several fruit trees, and a waterfall and pond. The flower beds were all perennials selected so that the different flowers bloom continuously throughout spring to fall. So it's like a beautiful orchestra. Ann also loved the theater, so we've seen all the Mervis shows for more than 20 years, and her favorite 2 shows, Wicked and Come From Away, we've seen them 6 times. One of my best memories with Ann is our luxury Mediterranean cruise last year. It was our first cruise with just the 2 of us. So many interesting sights. Then we spent a week with her Intentions group, Friends, in Switzerland. It was so beautiful. The entire vacation was such a special time of togetherness for us. I know literally thousands of people, but don't know anyone that's like Ann. She's unique in many ways. I never doubted that she loved me, but she was not romantic or lovey-dovey. So Ann's idea is that we should rent kids, not own them. So we didn't have our own, which gave us more energy for other people's kids. Ann was great with kids and connected with our nieces and nephews as well as a few of our friends' kids. At one point, we had 13 godchildren. We thought that if there was a catastrophe, we were in big trouble. Ann was foremost a personal coach. Her intuition about people was astoundingly accurate. She had a knack for seeing when someone needed help and was open to it. She would go way out of her way to help people, often in ways that were just over the top. She had an amazing memory. For me, it was sometimes too good. She was quick to point out things I said or did years ago, but she remembered precise details of events years ago all the time. Ann had 2 hobbies that required her memory and cost nothing. She collected birthdays and famous dead people. So she knew the birthday for most of the people close to her. If you named the day of the year, she could tell you who had a birthday on that day. So I suggested she put it in a computer program, but she had them all in her head and didn't need help remembering. So she had to know who's dead and who's alive. You could rarely stump her on whether a famous person is still alive. Every year she had to see the year-end memorials to see who had died. I call them Ann's acts of kindness. Ann could sense when you needed help and were sincere about it. She often went way over the top to help someone. There are at least 100 stories like this, and they're all quite amazing stories. I know many, but I've become aware that there are many I don't know. So now these are not my stories to tell, but if you have a story, I would love to hear it. Many people Ann is very close to involved in Ann's act of kindness. So the person probably closest to Ann besides me is Raven. He was a recent immigrant from Guyana that Ann took under her wing. He will tell a bit of his story, but Ann sees him every day. He's an indispensable part of our life now. Ann and I both think of him like our son. Ann also talked with her pop, it's her dad, every day. helped him with all kinds of issues, including his development in Fort Erie. She bought him a smartphone and a tablet and taught him the basics of using them. So he's not at all techie. So took an immense amount of time. Our nieces and nephews have been important to us for many years. We went to see Vinny's three kids every Friday. If work was so busy we could not possibly go, Ann insisted we go anyway. We also went on Disney vacations with them every second year. This was always a priority for Ann. There are some widows or single women she talks with every week, which give them a connection in their lives. She has an intentions group that she spends an hour with every week and is close to all the members. In her cake club, Ann helped some top cake decorators negotiate a fair price for the work from Bridezilla, as that's what she called them, who wanted a huge discount on a beautiful cake with tons of homemade flowers that would take the cake decorator 20 or 30 hours. So they made them out of love and then accepted prices that would be less than minimum wage, and coached them to insist on a fair price and not accept work from those who didn't appreciate the quality of their work. So Ann's acts of kindness gave her deep connections with many people. So tell me your stories of Ann. If you have a story about Ann, your relationship with her, or you have an example of Ann's act of kindness, I want to hear those stories. They are my most treasured thoughts about Ann. If you want to share them at her celebration of life, please tell me so you can put you on the list. You could also just let me know at the reception or email me the story so I have it forever. We will have a celebration of life reception in Ann's honor on Thursday, April 17th. The actual gathering to share stories about Ann is at 3 p.m., followed by an informal reception until 8 p.m. Bring your stories with Ann. It's casual dress. In lieu of flowers, Ed and Ann have started a charitable foundation called Best Things First, based on a book about a study to identify the most cost-effective charities in the world. As a financial guy, it's the first time I have seen someone try to estimate the benefit for each dollar donated. The Best Things First Foundation is part of Charitable Impact, which is a registered charity in Canada. We plan to provide regular donations to the GiveWell Top Charities Fund. So you can donate in the secure portal settings in the Best Things First Charitable Foundation, and I've got the link on my blog post. So I'd love to hear your stories with Ann at our celebration of life or by email. Thank you.